Many of the atheists that we encounter on Discord, many of them are self-professed to have a range of moral problems, right?
Well, they don't believe that there are objective morals anyway, right?
Well, they're liars. Okay,
Yeah.
they're actually lying about that because they don't live that way.
Well, that's true because they'll complain about your morals. They'll say, "Oh, you're homophobic" or something. Like Dawkins, or Sartre. Oh, or even Bertrand Russell. They're all like, "There is no morality yet. I'm a pacifist, or yet I'm against homophobia."
All right, shut up, be quiet. Everyone in the room, B3 is a scumbag. You want to know why? Because he likes chocolate cake. I don't like chocolate cake. B3 likes chocolate cake. You are a terrible person because you like chocolate cake. I don't like chocolate cake.
Holy moly!
That's the level of their morality.
Screw you, B3.
Yeah, I got to get out of here.
Okay. If
No,
morality
you're right.
if morality is subject, then that's what I just said about B3 is
they think it's just a taste.
Morality. Yeah.
Yeah, they think it's just a difference of personal taste. That's what. And this is what
listen.
Go ahead.
If you were to hypothetically kidnap them and handcuff them onto a chair in your basement, and just keep them around for a couple of months as a play toy to torture them to your heart's content, right? They would just be like, "What is wrong with you?" Say, "Well, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with me. You just don't like the way I'm getting satisfaction."
They would become the most ardent moralists in the first day. They would be using every morally persuasive tactic imaginable.
Imagine right before their kidnapper, after torturing them for months, was going to kill them and then just bury them somewhere, that they get rescued by the police. The kidnapper is now brought to trial, and the judge says, while they're in the courtroom, "How do you plead to all the charges?" "Guilty, Your Honor." And the judge says, "I render the verdict guilty. You are hereby sentenced to probation." What would be the reaction of these atheists?
Oh, they'd be upset. No, but another thing is that if they happen to be a vegan atheist, like after that first day without food, they'd be eating raw meat off of a dog dish.
All I know isn't it appropriate that the patron saint of San Francisco is Saint Francis of Assisi?
Oh, we're not going to get into it. I don't know that much about Saint Francis.
That's true.
Yeah, but San Francisco was not always a hellhole.
No, but
you're just saying it's kind of coincidental.
Well, if God doesn't judge San Francisco, he's going to have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hey, did you ever hear they actually found a place that might fit the description for Sodom and Gomorrah? It was a recent
surprise! They found Jericho.
Now they think it might have been like meteor impacts, but of course God controls the heavens. So I mean, that's probably how he did it anyway. Like I don't know what he used. He didn't use a nuke.
Who cares how he did it?
No, I mean, in all probability, if he's going to destroy a city back then, he's going to use a damn meteor or something.
Remember, they say, "Well, there's not enough water to flood the earth." What they don't realize is they're imagining that the water table was at the same level throughout the entire globe. All right. And they don't realize that their model is faulty, because if you have massive geological upheaval in the Earth's crusts, producing chronic or recurring earthquakes, resulting in massive, unbefore known gigantic tsunamis, you can flood all the continents.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you, where do you come down on that? Do you think that the Earth was literally covered face to face in water, or do you think it was just a global flood that wiped everyone out? Or how do you come down on that?
I believe that the continents were flooded over and over again, recurrently, right? And then they would drain and would flood again, right? By recurring tsunamis.
So it's not necessarily that if you look from space that it had been 40 days of just plain water. It could have been a little more nuanced than that.
So why did it
Yeah,
say
yeah.
then that water
Okay.
was completely covered to the tips of mountains, and we know that water is a
Okay, okay.
specific
Well,
purpose
it
as
said it.
God?
Wait a minute. It said it covered. Well, first of all, one thing is we have to be careful of what we're presupposing. You're presupposing that the highest mountaintops were at the same height as they are now then. Okay, that's the first
No, no.
presupposition that we don't know about that. Number two, when it said it covered the highest mountains, that can mean one of two things, right? Means that it covered above and beyond the highest point on that mountain, or it's just simply saying that the mountain itself, however high it was, the water had engulfed it. Okay,
Yeah.
so for example, suppose we were to say that Manhattan was flooded and it covered, let's say, the then standing Twin Towers. Okay, we could say it's covered, even though the tip of it was still poking out, or the
Nope, nope.
uppermost port.
Even if the antenna is out 3 inches, you're falsified, Christian.
Yeah, yeah. So the point is the point is flooding all of the continents covered in water need not entail that the water table was all level everywhere over the earth. Okay, but even
We know, right?
let's say that that is what the Bible explicitly taught. That's not a problem for Christians, because
No.
what we have here is God was there, he witnessed it. Now, if they say that's not possible, then on
God could
what
have made
grounds
water.
that's right. Also, by the way, do you know what they've recently discovered in modern times? That there are vast unknown caverns of water throughout the earth that they never knew were there.
Yeah, not only that, but most mountains, you can, if you dig deep enough, you find seashells. Like the Earth has changed drastically. Like catastrophism is back in vogue now.
Okay, so
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just saying in Genesis, this is Genesis 7:19, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth and all the high hills, and they were under the whole heaven were covered.
that's right.
15 cubits
That
upward did the
doesn't
waters
hold,
prevail, and the mountains were
right,
covered.
right. But now hold on a second. Okay, 15 cubits. That does not mean that the highest mountain ranges were the same height as they are now then.
No, I agree. I'm just saying
Okay,
Yeah,
these cubits
number
above
two,
the
now
mountains.
number two, okay, these mountains could have been covered in terms of their habitable base, whereas the tips of them could be poking out. Okay, the uppermost portion that was not habitable at all,
yeah,
if it was higher than that, could have been protruding from the water level. Okay,
yeah. And if
but
there was no vegetation, then the bird
okay,
wouldn't have landed.
right. And so the point is that at one time, whatever height these mountains were, at least the bulk of it was covered, and then it receded, and then the water table below could have been lower. Okay, if you
Yeah, you're
have
just saying
recurring,
it doesn't even
just
matter. No one survived.
that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so the point is we have to be careful about our speculations and our depictions of information that we don't have, right?
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, I used to think, well, oh, just water came up from below, and it rained, and then I have this idea that the Earth is flooded, that the water table had to be in the same height as it would be over North America as it would be
No.
the Mid Atlantic. Not so. All
Mm-mm.
it would take is for there to be massive. Let's say plate
Yep.
tectonics is true, all right? And we have massive geological upheaval, massive earthquakes like the Earth has never seen before, causing repeated and recurrent tsunamis where they flood the continents. Okay,
Yeah, you could
the,
have
the
had a
waters,
transition.
the,
You could
the,
have
the
had a
continents could have been flooded and reflooded several times over. All right. Now, when we look at the Grand Canyon and we look at sedimentary layers around the world, this is in keeping with the idea that the flooding was due in large part to recurring tsunamis, right? They were repeatedly happen because we have multiple layers of sedimentary material, in layers.
Yeah, we could have had you could have had a period for a year where the entire face of the earth shifted such that there is enough water to cover the whole earth if it was in transition and all the continents sunk down, and you had ice ages and. Not only that, but like you also have every people group on this planet has these myths. The Greeks, everybody has them of a global flood.
I was just listening to a lecture by a geologist who is anti-creationist, right? But it was probably one of the most reasonable professional lectures where he disagrees. But he had to point out, and in his research, he's found out that all over the world, we have striking parallels, although with some dissimilarities, of these floods occurring around the world. And he certainly accepted that there were some massive flooding going on in the past in certain regions. I mean, flooding that is, to us, unheard of, right?
Yeah.
And even he acknowledged that, even though he rejects the idea of a worldwide flood. I don't have, where's my phone?
Well, there's actually, yeah. There's actually a huge intersection between alternative archaeology, where they talk about like the Younger Dryas and the Ice Age ending.
I apologize. I'll be right back. I got to get my phone.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, but in terms of like alternative archaeology, where they talk about how it was some sort of advanced civilization before the flood, like that really does have a lot of crossover with the biblical narrative, and I don't know if you're aware or not, but
I have a question. Does anybody ever heard of the Book of Enoch?
Of course, yeah.
It just the Book of Enoch has striking parallels with a lot of ancient myths of gods being on the earth, and the Book of Enoch explained that they're basically angels, corrupted angels, teaching humanity advanced technology and other stuff.
Look at all the megaliths and all this stuff we can't explain. Like that has huge crossover with the Bible. Now, Darth, are you back?
Well, you know what happened during Genesis. I mean, angels were trying to procreate with humans, fallen angels, and
it created the myth of giants.
Flood, yeah.
On top of this, there was every culture they always mention a giant. If you think about it, the Chinese had their own version of giants, and the Greeks and the Scottish they have their own version of giants.
Now, I'm a little hesitant about the giant thing because, like, just given chemistry and stuff, like it's hard to imagine like a 30-foot person because the body doesn't work. But if they're angels, that's not an issue, right? If they're just appearing to be men, you know.
I mean, angels technically are supernatural. If you think about it.
Yeah, I'm just saying from a purely natural perspective, to have like a 30-foot man with the same shape as us doesn't work with the pumping of the blood and stuff. But of course, if they're angels, then it doesn't matter. They're just appearing to be men.
Yeah, but the giants, weren't they the offspring of the angels and the women?
Well, so they say. I don't know how to interpret that.
Yeah, me neither.
Now, the Catholics believe that as long as you accept Jesus before you die, anyone can get into heaven. Really? Anyone? I accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior!
Happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. I think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Just bust the move. Stop. All right, we better stop. We better stop. Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and a carrying sign. Mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep. Into your life it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop. Now, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody